GoToWebinar control panel to allow all attendees to hear you. This system will notify you once you begin your broadcast. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. It's great to see you all rolling in. Great to have you here for this special presentation because I've been busting to share this more and more, and the more I share this message, the more it's resonating out there. So I'm excited about that because I know that this approach has the ability to really change things for you. So today's presentation is 6 ways to get more mileage from your online course or coaching program. So it's right if you have an online course or you haven't quite created one yet. But you've been doing some coaching, you've had some clients, and you're looking to get even better results, right? So you're definitely going to get a lot out of this if you're a coach who's looking to get better results. Now, look, it was way back in 2013 when basically I threw in the towel and stopped chasing the dream of passive income online with online programs, right? I put it together, blood, sweat, and tears, and made, $3,000 and realized that I wanted to be making $10,000 a month, not $3,000 every few months, because obviously I couldn't create all that effort time and time again to generate just that $3,000. So I thought there has to be a better way, and I was definitely searching for one. And funnily enough, I took a risk, and the risk kind of came out of procrastination and laziness. The thought of, launching an online course again to relatively mediocre results, because I had a really tiny list and I was just starting out. And I went, this isn't going to work for me. That was back in, kind of 2011. And then by the time it took me kind of 2 years to realize that I had to change something, right? I had to do something else because I'd switched back into doing a lot of done for you work, a lot of Facebook ad campaigns for people, where I was really, creating the engine behind these the growth of these businesses. Also got to have a nice peek inside other people's businesses too, which was great, but it wasn't great for my time, right? So either I had to launch an online course constantly and burn myself out, or I had to burn myself out doing private one-on-one or done for you work, right? So I kind of took a risk because I was sick of both of those options. I knew there had to be a different way. And really, it kind of could have been my undoing, right? I put myself out there to offer something very different, left behind my online course. And basically, this was an easier route, but it actually became the biggest money-making move in my business ever, bringing me on average $26,438 a month every month for the last 5 years, right? So that's an average. So some months might have been like 50, some might have been less, right? But on average, 26,438. Now, sometimes, hey, I get comparisonitis too and think, oh, that's not very much, right? I know, a lot of my friends in the industry are making tons more than that. I haven't got a 7-figure business, but what I have got is a business that delivers me monthly recurring income of a good standard, right? And it's quite a high margin business. I get great results for my clients and I enjoy what I do. And I have the flexibility and freedom to pretty much do that from anywhere, right? I'm not saying this is easy, and you'll see throughout the presentation today that I'm not here to sell you some pipe dream, right? I'm grounded in practicality and what is possible for you, someone who perhaps hasn't been around for a long time or is starting to realize they need more leverage in their business and is looking to a better way. Well, this is the right way, right? So the best part is I was already using what I already had, right? I didn't even use the online course I created. I'm sure I gave it to people who joined my program, but it wasn't what people were buying, right? And it definitely wasn't what I was offering. Didn't even have to create anything new. I started this, had no online course to give people, and I wasn't even doing face-to-face one-on-one coaching, but it could deliver me way more revenue than my online program could. So you're probably thinking, well, okay, well, what is it? But today I'm going to show you how to do the same, and I'm going to fill you in on that. I'm going to show you why online courses alone are not the key to freedom that you think they are. And I know everyone tells you about this, but why it's flawed, and what to do instead to generate reliable monthly recurring revenue. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what scale that is. If you know you've got money coming in each and every month, then that gives you a whole lot more ease, and it doesn't stifle your creativity or burn you out, right? Because you've got that money coming in. And also, how this cool hybrid approach is creating amazing results for my clients, and has over the years, and how it can for you too. So I should probably take a breath there and just say hi to everyone who's started rolling in. It's nice to see a few familiar faces on here. And I'm hoping that you can, I should have probably asked that before, that you can see my screen and you can hear me. That's the most important thing. And if you can't, can you please just type in the little icon down at the bottom and let me know, because obviously this isn't going to be much fun if you can't see or hear the brilliant stuff that is going to be shared today. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn with that. It's just that it's not an approach that's getting talked about a lot. It's been around for a while. I'm not going to teach you anything revolutionary, but what it is it gives you a much more simpler approach to making more money, having a bigger impact, and getting great results for your clients. And quite frankly, I think I've been sitting on it way too long not to share it in this way. So you're going to discover the big thing here is why you need far fewer buyers than you think, right? So you don't need thousands of people, right? And you're going to realize how you can leverage and scale your coaching business fast, going beyond that one-on-one and private stuff. I'm also going to show you how you can create a very different reality for you and your business overall and your clients just by putting this model to work. Sound good? Okay, I hope you're here ready on the journey, because it's going to kind of revolutionize the way you've thought about your coaching business. Excuse me. So does this sound like you? The online course you created or that you've been thinking about creating is not selling. Well, it's not going to be selling if you haven't created it yet, right? That's okay. We're going to address that today. The coaching business you started isn't making impact you want or creating the results your clients need, whether you are doing group coaching or private coaching, right? It hasn't quite got to that level that you want. You have big ideas about creating an online course, but you haven't done it yet, right? I know a lot of those people, and it's pretty common because you think, oh, I could do a course on that, or maybe I've just got to create the course. And then you think about what that is going to take, right? I don't need to go through all the pieces of that, but I mean, it's mammoth, right? So you might also have a handful of great clients, but it's a bit of a hodgepodge, right? Like, because you're relying on referrals and people coming to you and you need the clients, you're kind of taking some that might not be ideal and might not feel great for you, right? And that can be, a bother, right? Like, that can be hard because you want the best for them, but they just might not be up to the standard that you need that you can get great results for. Maybe you constantly question your prices, even though you're already way too cheap, right? And maybe you have the online course and okay, you have been selling some, but it's always built on the basis of launching and burning yourself out and creating like this massive engine around it. And then once you've done it, you're exhausted, and then you have to think about doing it again in a couple of months. Like, that is exhausting. I know it. I've worked with clients who've done launches. I don't launch really myself, but I've worked behind the scenes on plenty of launches for bigger and smaller businesses. And I know, by the end, the business owner is just like needing to have a massive lie down for months, right? It's hard work. So why does it feel so hard to attract your perfect clients and get their income flowing in regularly? Well, I know what's missing and I want to help you fix it today, right? I know the key to opening a new door for you and thinking about things differently. And the best part is today, I want you to stay for the whole presentation. I'm going to honor your time for showing up today, but I really want to reward you for that, right? At the end, if you stay on right to the end, make sure you see this whole formula. Then I'm going to reward you with access to my anti-launch guide online program, right? It's an online course. Yep, one of those things I'm telling you you don't really need. Well, guess what? I kind of give mine away for free now at the end of the webinar. I mean, it is valued at $47 and it is for sale at $47 and will continue to be. But as a gift for you, I want you to stay to the end and I'm going to give you access to that because I know that you're going to get the value out of this. There's nothing for sale on this webinar. You get the value of this at the end, so it's definitely worth sticking around, okay? Now, what I want to tell you about as well is setting the scene for why I believe this online course stuff isn't the answer, right? It's definitely not the answer for coaching, okay? And one of the big reasons for that is that there's been a massive shift in the industry, right? There's been an explosion of online courses. And what kind of happens when we see that explosion means that we need to shift things and we need to address that market shift because people are still teaching that you should package your expertise into an online program and just sell it online. Like, put all the videos in a membership site, create the handouts, worksheets, etc. Now, I have clients who make good, $10,000 to $15,000 a month with online courses. I'm not saying it's not possible, but if you don't have a massive audience yet and you're not established, this is probably not the easiest path for you to succeed, okay? One of the reasons is just numbers, okay? So here, I'm talking about when I joined B School, an online business training course that was started up by Marie Forleo and Laura Roda back in 2010. That's when I started, when I first left my corporate job and started learning about online marketing. There were 160 buyers across the world. Now I know the course has got better, her list has grown, audience, etc. So there's always going to be room for some organic growth there. But now I looked in the group, and I don't think this even includes this year's buyers, and there was over 20,000 buyers of this course. Okay, so not only are we seeing a lot of online courses, which I'll explain about in a minute, but we're also seeing a lot of people enter the market to create their courses. So people aren't going to be buying Marie's online course if they weren't looking to sort of create success online themselves. So now that one, you could say to me, oh, well, Victoria, that proves like there's a big market for online courses. There's Marie selling hers and look how much money she's making out of it when it's a $2,000 course. And absolutely, I agree. There are definitely people who are doing it well. One of my best friends, Denise Duffield Thomas, makes multi-seven figures a year out of her online course. So it's not that it's not possible. What I'm saying is people are seeing this. Your Amy Porterfields, your Marie, your Denise, they're all women that I know and absolutely love, but it's not necessarily attainable for you right now, okay? So I'm not saying it's not possible. What I'm saying is there's like a perfect storm of factors that can come together for these women, and maybe you're missing a fair few of those. Mainly it's numbers, okay? And it's going to be list size. So what can you do instead while you're building up that list? Because, yeah, it's all well and good to say be consistent, put your content out there every week after week, and you definitely need to be doing that. But that can take a long time before you can transform that into results, particularly for an online program. But there is a shortcut in a different way, okay? So I just wanted to set the scene with the fact that the market has shifted. So the same advice doesn't necessarily stand, okay? So when you've got to stand out more with more people out there with their message, more people advertising on Facebook, so costs are going up, you've got to be absolutely ultra clear in your message and your offer, okay? And keep in mind here that it is a numbers game. Like udemy.com is full of online trainings, right? They're just courses that you can buy. They have 65,000 courses with an average price of $47, right? I know this might be a different model to what you want to do, but just even think about the numbers on this, okay? You think the key to riches is, all right, I'm sick of private coaching. I'm sick of all these clients. I want to just create an online course. I'll make it cheap so more people buy it, right? It's a common thought. And, people thinking, there you go, average price of $47, right? Say even, and there's a little picture of the site the other week that had $12.99 site-wide sale. Imagine how many $12.99 courses you need to sell to make $10,000 a month. It's a lot. But even if we just took $47 courses, you need to sell over 200 of these to make $10,000 a month. Now, that's great if you've got a massive list, or you've got a partner, access to a joint venture partner who's going to promote it for you, or you've got endless traffic coming to your site. But even then, it doesn't necessarily work month after month after month, right? And if the average conversion of a sales page is 1% of visitors, that means you need about 20,000 visitors to see your page, right? So if you want this purely like hands off, come to a page, come to a video, press the button, you're looking to spend $20,000 on traffic a month to make 10,000, okay? That means you're losing 10,000 a month for a start, and you've got to pony up the 20,000 for the month and risk it, right? That's where the numbers just don't add up. You need other elements. And the best part is, especially if you're just sort of still, getting things together, or have been getting great results private coaching or doing one-on-one, you already have what you need to create something that's really different to just people pushing a button, right? Because clients, buyers, consumers are looking for more. They're looking for more support. They're looking for more guidance and more customization, right? They want more than just pushing a button. They want more than just watching a video, because the fact is they're not that disciplined. They're not disciplined enough to take them through an online course. Hell, I went to university for 3 years, and I was always writing assignments just before the death knell. And if it wasn't the fact that I wasn't doing a degree and had to get my grades, I probably wouldn't have done the work for that either, right? How many online courses have you bought that you haven't got to the end of, that you haven't completed, right? It's super common that people don't complete things. They need more support. They need more guidance. They'll come across resistance and roadblocks, and you're the best person as a coach to help them through that. Doesn't mean that you have to do it all in person or one-on-one, right? You can't provide all the customized support, guidance, and assistance in just an online course that people do, press a button and watch repeatable videos and blah, 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 right? They need that support from you. Okay, so remember that the real problem is the numbers don't work. Only 10% of people actually complete online courses. So even if you get them to buy, that's great. It's not going to, there's not going to be a big afterglow after that, those people buying it, because they're either going to refund, and they're definitely not going to recommend it to their friends when they're not completing it and they're not getting the results. And guess what? You're going to feel really shitty about that too, because you're going to be feeling, and it's not necessarily your fault, but the expertise is there. This has worked for others. You're putting it out there. You've put your blood, sweat, and tears into creating this great online program. But the fact of the matter is, most people just won't do the work, right? So we want to create a very different opportunity for them to do it. And I know that you don't want to set your clients up to fail anymore. So, is there a great way to create excellent results for your clients and more revenue for you, even if, perhaps you're not a great marketer, or like you haven't got a big list, you haven't been around a long time, you're not a big guru, right? Is there a way, right? Because we know that private coaching and one-on-one can get your clients great results. When you sit next to them face-to-face, or you have a VIP day with them, or whatever it might be, that gets the results, right? But there's only so many hours in the day, so there's no leverage in that, right? That's not going to free you from the feeling that you have right now about your business and the demands that it has, right? But what if there was an opportunity to compromise? What if there was an opportunity to create an intersection of the benefits of both, right? And the answer lies in a hybrid approach. This gives you the leverage of an online program, leverage and more money of an online program because it's got scale, right? But also it gives your clients the opportunity to get great results. It's not going to have them dropping out and only 10% of them completing an online course, like what happens when you create an online course, okay? We have an intersection where we get the benefit of private coaching in results and income, and we get the leverage of an online course through scale and the ability to do it from anywhere and work virtually. right? So this is a boutique group coaching model or a mastermind, okay? It's not an online course. It will have elements of an online course, like I said. It's not private coaching. It will have elements of that. This is the hybrid, okay? This is the difference. This is where you can stand out. This is where you can start this from scratch using what you already have, okay? Because with a mastermind, you only need 2 to 5 customers a month to make 10,000, right? Depending on what your prices are. And I'm not going to say do it at this price and blah, 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 because there's nuances in a market. There's nuances in your experience, in what you want to put in your program. Some people don't want to do a lot of in-person. That's fine. You start taking that out. What are the other things you can build in to get great results? The thing is, if you do have an online course, great, we'll put it in. It adds value. That's fine, right? And you can even offer this if you don't have an online course too. Does that make sense? Type a Y in the chat box. Let me know you're still here. I know I've got lots to share, but I really want to make sure you're along. Yeah. Okay, great. Sandy said yes. Rebecca said yes. Brilliant, brilliant. Stay engaged. Stay here. I've got how you can bring this to life too, right? So some people might say, oh, mastermind, that sounds really big and scary. I'm not experienced enough to offer a mastermind. Wow, I'd have to be, this experience. No, it's a boutique group coaching experience. Mastermind is just a way to explain the fact that we're bringing people together to learn from more than just you. You're going to create like a movement, a bigger outcome that's just not all dependent on you. Okay, you're the facilitator, you're the leader of it, and you're going to take the group to get to this outcome, right? But it's also going to draw on the expertise of the people in the group and give more of a platform for more interaction, okay? It's a smaller group than you'll find in most online courses with more interaction and connection, basically, right? There's not a requirement that you need to be a big guru and need to have been in business for 10 years and need to have a 7-figure business. There's not a requirement of that. There's a requirement that you have got people results in a certain outcome. Yeah, for sure. Or yourself. And you're going to take that to a more leveraged approach, high impact group, more than you can do with private coaching. Because even here I am saying, the results of private coaching, it's easy for people to hide in private coaching, right? It's easy for them to avoid the tasks that you're giving them and the work that you're doing with them. It's easy for them to just go all suki lala in a session and say to you, I can't do it, right? But are they going to do that in front of a group? Are they going to give up that easily when they can see others moving ahead and be inspired by challenges and inspired by, the wins and the results, right? Like this is what brings it together as more of a mastermind, okay? The best part is it's suited to a newer coaching business because you need fewer clients and you can charge way more than you can for an online course. Even if you're just starting out and you have list shame, even if you've got 50 people on your list, even if you've got 200 people on your list, it's okay. You can start doing this. And in fact, when I started mine, I don't know, maybe I had 4,000 people on my list. It wasn't tiny, but it wasn't big. And to be honest, my list has never been over 10,000 people. It still isn't to this day, right? My list is pretty woeful, really, for having been in business for 7 years. It's like I'm supposed to have been list building, right? But it's less than 10,000 people. And I've averaged over $26,000 a month since I started in business, okay? So you don't get bogged down by this comparisonitis. I need to have this big list. Well, you do if you've just got an online only course and you're relying on getting traffic to that offer. But if you've got a mastermind, guess what? You don't need a big list. You can work it with the connections that you already have and the list that you already have and using the power of Facebook to get more, okay? And what if you had the chance to create, this is another stumbling block for people, a message that feels right for you? Have you been pigeonholing your message in thinking, well, this is what other people are offering or this is the only thing that people are buying, right? And has that perhaps been attracting the wrong kind of people that you feel a bit out of whack or out of alignment with what you're offering there? We want to get that clarity for you so that you can create a movement that's bigger than you. So you can do something that feels really, really great, right? And what if you finally felt comfortable in that message and you're getting paid what you're worth? Yay, right? Rather than pricing yourself according to what's out there or the competition or what you think you need to because, hey, you're not that established yet and people, may not pay for you. Well, that's not true. And I'm going to show you how to add more value beyond who you are. Create a repeatable process that you can take your clients through as part of this mastermind or boutique group coaching experience, and what this offer brings, so that you're not reinventing the wheel every time, but there's elements of customization and value that take people beyond what they can get in an online course. Okay, so let's look at I'm also going to take you through, not let's look now, but I'll take you through when I'm showing you the shifts that you need to make, some of the real life case studies, because I think that always kind of brings this to life. You can see that you can do it. I'm not just telling you that I've done it. I'm actually want to turn the spotlight on my past clients and current clients to show you what's possible, because this is how I can stand here and tell you, yes, or sit here. I'm not really standing. Sit here and tell you exactly what I think can work, because I know that it's happened before. And this is why I'm sharing it with you, because I've been on the journey. I've gone from, okay, great, I've bought B School with nothing, right? Like I had no business. I had an idea for a business that was a really bad idea. And I knew that I had to grow it online. So I had to learn online stuff. So I had to learn about online courses. I created a business around Facebook advertising. I did done for you campaigns for years. I spoke on stages over in America, like in this picture. I've spoken small groups as well, sharing with, people, coaches, consultants, experts, exactly how to grow their business using this hybrid model, or using an online course model if they want to. Being able to create my own mastermind, like with these beauties here, bringing them together for retreats, creating a year-long program, right? I've also created 8-week programs and 3-month programs. So there's different sizes of the small group coaching that I've offered, but that's what's been the engine for my business, not online courses. I have a couple of online courses, and I've probably made maybe about $30,000 over the few years with them. But I've made well over $2 million from this coaching model, right? We're all with a list under 10,000 people. Okay. So, and in fact, the very first mastermind that I created, I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. So, who am I? I had all that kind of thing going on. And my mentor said to me, well, I think you'd be really good at it. Why don't you give it a go? So guess what? Put it out there, went in a few Facebook groups, invited people to a workshop. You don't necessarily have to do it that way. I could have done it via a webinar as well. Don't have to show up in person if you don't want to. And I was able to get 9 people in at $9,000, right, for that first mastermind. And it was like, wow, oh, okay, because do you know what? They'd all bought B School. They'd all bought online courses, but they wanted more. They needed more help, more guidance. They also wanted to be surrounded by other women on the same path, right? So it was beautiful, and I still offer it to this day. I haven't stopped offering it 5 years later. Still got women in it. Still, it's created a couple of 7-figure business owners and plenty of 6-figure business owners, okay? Not that 6 and 7 figures is everything. I'm sure the biggest part of what I think the best part of that result is monthly recurring revenue. None of those sort of feast and famine cycle. I want to get you out of that. I'm not going to labor on this, but you might be thinking, well, who is this Victoria Gibson, and why am I actually sitting here listening to her? And I want to make sure I deliver you the value, but I also want to make sure you know what I'm about and what I stand for. I don't rely on online courses for my income. I just told you the difference between 30,000 over the years and over 2 million, right? I don't need to constantly launch my programs. And in fact, you've probably never heard from me apart from seeing a Facebook ad recently and jumping on this webinar. And that's the way I run my business, right? I'm not constantly out there marketing. Yes, you have to have a consistent level of marketing and list building. And I definitely know how to get that for you, how to create going from unknown to getting a client relatively quickly using the power of Facebook ads and a beautiful boutique group coaching offer, right? I started my own mastermind, as I said, in 2013. I wasn't an expert or a guru, right? I just had something to share. There's my girls and I a few years ago back in Lennox. Taking photos in our bathers or swimsuits is like, confronting. But anyway, we had fun. We'd been out surfing that day. Right, in front of the Opera House in Sydney, bringing in guest experts like Denise Duffield Thomas here, my friend Jodie Jealous, showing them, hands-on stuff, bringing together women, saying they don't only need online training to succeed, okay? I'm not one who says, oh, we'll get you passive income, right? Like this, just create this and it's just passive income. I don't believe in passive income in this industry. I'm sure some people have it, but I'm rather in favor of monthly recurring revenue. That's what I'm about, and that's what I'm promoting here. And I've helped, as I said, I've helped create some great 6-figure, 7-figure success stories, like turning some $97 courses into $4,000 coaching programs, helping another client turn a $297 divorce support course into a $2K coaching program, and in fact, helping her make $12,000 in a couple of weeks doing that, right? When before she'd been still really kind of struggling to sell the $297, in dribs and drabs, right? Or a money course for mums, 297 money course into mums into 997 course, and selling 10 of those in one round, right? All with fewer clients, more ease, while making more revenue, right? Over the 26,000 a month, and a list that never got past 10,000. That's me, right? So let's go dive into those 6 shifts you need to make, because I want to make sure you get this in this session, okay? So we've got the 6, we've got message clarity, an irresistible offer, create your own movement, build in some experience there too. Be really careful with who you bring into it, and get some accountability with an experienced mentor. Okay, so I'm going to dive into each of those and give you some examples of real life client results there too. So with message clarity, you need one powerful promise. What happens often is that people are trying to bring in too many elements, trying to be like, oh, well, I can do this, so I will. I know you're highly capable. I know you can do all these things, but the more specific you get, the more clarity will come. And it's often that thing that's been sitting on your shoulder, talking in your ear, really, come on, I want you to share this that you've been pushing down, that you actually need to bring to the fore to bring so much more value in your business, right? You probably changed your message a few times or chosen a message because you think that that's what the market wants, right? But they're not buying. So let's make sure we get one powerful message to market, right? One powerful market, one powerful message to create a brilliant offer. Okay, that's what's missing from most people, absolutely. And there's a sign that that's not working and that you're not making the sales, right? Or it's too complicated to explain. You've stuffed a grab bag of things in there, so it's confusing. Or you're a bit too me too, right? You're jumping on a bandwagon because you think that's what people are buying. That's also a common thing I see time and time again. So what can you do instead? Well, don't be afraid to get specific, right? Think about where you've got results in the past, right? Let's build upon that and where it's felt really good for you too, because I'm not all about, like, you might say, well, I've done for you copywriting for clients for a long time, but it's not very scalable. I don't really like it. It's got great results. Okay, so then how can we take that instead? How can we look at, well, I'm sure if you've been doing copywriting for clients, you've probably actually been looking at marketing strategy for them too. Or maybe you have a bigger knowledge of the online marketing environment or lead generation or conversion. So instead of being a copywriting coach, could you be a conversion coach? There's other ways to look at things. And that's, to be honest, where I can sort of come in and at the end of this webinar, I'll give you the invitation to sort of sit down and have a complimentary session with me where I will sit down and be able to give you that tweak and come in and laser focus and go, okay, this is where you can move it and this is how you can shape it into a boutique group coaching program. Because you're probably thinking, yeah, that's great, but I do want that one core promise. I do want the message clarity. I just don't really know how to get it. And that's why, I'm offering the planning session at the end of this so you can come to that, because this is what I've helped other coaches do and I want the same for you, okay? So an example of Jody, who had an online store for several years, but really we wanted to get more scale. And when we worked together, we worked on traffic and getting her online store profitable, radically changing the revenue in that, which was great. And then I said to her, there's so many women out here, women who, or it doesn't have to be women actually, it's people in general who created their own online store and they're just not getting the traffic, they're not getting the sales. They bought this product, they just don't know how to do it right. And I said, you've done it right. You've been through the hard bits, but you've also been able to fast track it by hiring me to help you get the traffic. So take those insights and how can you make this a group coaching program and you help other women do what you've done. And what was great is that she was able to start her first round of that. I think she launched her course at a beta pricing, but was still managed to make $10,000 out of that first launch. And she hadn't even created the course at that point in time. Now she's created it, run it a couple of times. I think her last launch, she's selling it at $1,000. I think she sold about 30 of them. And she's worked on, all the material, got guest experts, fine-tuned it because she already had proof of concept after the first round. What I'm saying is we've got the minimum viable offer there. She's put it out there. She used the power of Facebook groups because guess what? Her list was not big and it was a list of people who'd bought her caftans online, right? So what about if you could, access others through networks and getting the offer out and doing a webinar and getting people into that. So that was what I was able to help her create, that webinar and shape that and put herself out there with a brand new offer. And now she's got, a much more dimension to her business. She's not just relying on the seasonality of an online store and the margins and she had to work out all the distribution. To be honest, I've never done a business like that because that just sounds like one big headache to me, right? I like just being able to go, okay, great. How can we set this up with, the best margins possible, but we get great results. We feel good about it too with that one core promise, a clarity of message, right? Creating an irresistible offer. So what are the hallmarks of a great offer? Well, it can depend. And that's also, once again, while I'm offering a session where we can map that out, whether you go do that on your own or not. But I want to be able to work out what's right for you. Okay, so that's the main thing. It's going to be what's right for your clients, what's right for you, what feels good to deliver, but what also gets great results. Okay, it doesn't mean in-person elements or too much one-on-one either. Typical elements will be, live group Q&A or training calls, some one-on-one coaching, right? And if you don't have to do one-on-one coaching, by the way. I've helped lots of people do it without one-on-one coaching. I think Jodie's course doesn't have one-on-one in it. You can have chat groups. You can have messaging apps. So one as part of my Mastermind Success Secrets group program, I offer voicemail access. So you can ring up if you start, hey, Victoria, I'm just not sure about this. And then I can just send you a voicemail back on the app, right? That's pretty cool to be able to have that access, but I'm not one-on-one coaching. It is one-on-one advice, but I'm not sitting there in a session and creating booked out calendars full of one-on-one sessions, right? But I'm still getting the movement and the momentum for my clients that I need, right? You could offer implementation sprints, like a morning, great, okay, let's get in the Facebook group, let's all do it together. I'll get on live and then we can go, okay, this is what we're going through today. Put your comments in. Okay, who's done it? Submit it below. There's beauty in that. You don't have to show up live to do that. You can do that virtually, right? Maybe you offer a VIP day in it, workshop, live events are always great. If they're not your bag, then that's fine. But maybe it's just you've thought that you have to fill a room with thousands of people. You don't. I've held actually intro events to welcome people into my mastermind program, and I've had 4 people. Guess what? 3 of them bought, right? So still worthwhile. You don't need tons of people to make great money as a coach. If there's anything I want to leave you with today, it's absolutely that, okay? So I want to even just tabs. I want to write that down because I want to remember about that to really, I don't think I share that enough, okay? So the thing is, most people struggle to charge beyond $1,000 for an online course, or, I spoke to someone today who's like, I'm charging $180 an hour. Forget it. No, we're not doing any more hourly rates, right? With a boutique coaching group program, or even I can help you with your private coaching. If you want to keep doing private, I'll show you how to package that up and you go beyond hourly rates. We're not doing that anymore, okay? The time that you offer the group coaching program may vary, okay? So I'm not going to give you it has to be this long, it has to be that long. It really depends on your market. That's also, once again, why I'm offering those calls so that we can map that out, and then I will give you a definitive. I'll say, you price it at this is your market, this is your positioning, this is how long you do it for, here's your offer, here's how you get people into it, and let's go, okay? So stick around because I'll give you the details of how to do that. Another case study, Selena took her online program, transferred formed it into a mastermind for retailers, went from a $997 one-off price to charging $1,500 a month for a whole year. So just one sale, you could go from $997, which is what it would have been before, to $18,000. That's a pretty big jump, right? Or someone like Kath, who had a $997 offer as well. You're seeing that, like, a lot of people come to me, they got a $997 offer, they got a $297 offer. That seems to be the main offers that people have, right? We just repackage that up, change it straight away. She's gone from $997. By the way, these ladies still kept their $997 offers too. So they could still have that as a downsell, as an option. But, I guarantee that, their clients were getting way better value out of the coaching package. And, even I think Kath got her $997 on automated webinar one week. She sold 10 of those on an automated webinar. That's what's possible, okay? The best part is you can do this immediately. Like I said, we jump on the call and map it out. You can pretty much do it immediately, right? You do need a signature system as well. I want the repeatable parts of the process that get those results. I want you to be clear on what those are, because that is going to be what stops you doing doing all the customization, the ins and outs, the reinventing the wheel every time you have a client. And that's what takes the time. And quite frankly, that's what takes the energy as well. Okay, so we want to be really, really clear on that too. Number 3, you want to create a movement, right? Even if you don't feel like you're the expert, it's your job to facilitate this. It's your job to lead it, to bring it through, but also bring the beauty of the group to come together and help everybody too, right? But work with your own personality style too. So if you're thinking, oh, well, I can't step up that big, or I don't really like in-person things, or I don't like being out there, I like hiding behind stuff. Well, you can still be great at creating the space for this, okay? Don't add in-person things if you're not great in person and you want to run and hide, and totally depletes your energy. Work out how you can create the right container. My girlfriend, Denise Duffield Thomas, does this beautifully with her Money Bootcamp program, right? She's a dedicated hands-up introvert. She does not do one-on-one coaching. She does not do in-person coaching because she does not like it, right? But she set up an opportunity to bring people into a program that, the touch points are that it's largely automated because she does an online course. But what she does do in the community, in the Facebook group, this private Facebook group that she's showing up in, right? So she's still being able to contribute and show up in a personalized way, right? But she does not have, I think she did do some events last year, but they're not what she loves, right? So she gets back into, okay, what do I really like? What really works for me? Okay, so you can do that too, all right? You don't have to prescribe to what everybody else thinks you need, all right? Make the group bigger than you. So not everybody's coming to you in the Facebook group asking you this, tagging you in this. Have the group come together, have ways for them to interact and know one another. Accountability buddies in the group is great too, because they can start, helping one another and getting great results as well, right? Here's an example of, creating just sort of that movement, something that's bigger than you. One of my mastermind clients had this dream to go to Antarctica. She hadn't really said it to too many people. Since she was a little girl, she wanted to go to Antarctica and go and, visit. And she has a beautiful business that is really all about eco living and how to do more for, with sustainable living and the likes, right? She's an environmental engineer. So going to Antarctica was like one of her big dreams. So in one of our retreats, she could come and voice that to the rest of the group, and we could all create and hold that space for her to have that dream. Okay. She ended up creating a crowdfunding campaign, got the money to go on the expedition, and I got this postcard earlier in the year, and it was basically how she was in Antarctica and how that support had been so important, right? So that's what you can facilitate. I'm not the cause of her going to Antarctica, but I created a group that we could come together and support her in that dream and show her a path to get there. Okay, so one of the key differences about masterminds from standalone online courses or one-on-one coaching is those experiential elements, the transformation that you'll bring. These will be critical to your success. They don't have to be in person at all, okay? The other thing is people will invest in the result, but they'll stay for the community and those experiences. The experience is what they take with them. And I want you to be able to create as many of those as possible, because that also creates massive word of mouth opportunities for your business, referral opportunities, and it also really influences retention. So maybe where you've had an online course, for example, one of my beautiful past clients, Robin, had a fertility course, a fertility mindset course. And when she came to me, she actually wanted to develop something completely different and do a totally different coaching. And I was like, hang on a minute, let's go back here with this fertility course. Like, this is a great message to market, like helping people with their mindset go through infertility, the journey of infertility and IVF. And I know that's a growing market. I know that there's a lot of people who need that support, right? So I said, I want to go back there. And she's like, no, well, I created the course and I sold 4, and then I can't remember what she sold it for, $47. I sold 4 for $47. I think that's what it was. And then she goes, and then someone refunded. And she was just like, it didn't work. I didn't like it. I'm like, no, that doesn't mean it didn't work. It just might mean you didn't offer it in the right way. You didn't share it the right way to get those conversions. I said, I want to go back here. I know you don't want to because it feels like a failure to you, but I want to go back there, right? I want to be able to repackage this up. So with her existing course, we repackaged up some elements, added a couple of one-on-ones in there, and also had, the course, of course, and a private Facebook group in a different way. And she was able to sell that for $997. I think she sold about 5 that first round, just in a month, and has continued to offer it, right? So here was something she'd sort of thought was done and dusted. But don't think that just because maybe you've done online course and you got a refund in the past. When you do it this way, there's a bigger intimacy, there's a bigger impact, and it creates much more retention, okay? So think about different experiential elements, like even virtual retreats if you don't want to do in person. I love, destination retreats, but they're not for everyone to hold that space. Maybe you can do some accelerator days or just a morning workshop of getting them together, either virtually or live, right? Or other sort of challenges or ways that people can work together to achieve something. One of my other clients who had the 297 offer for the money course for mums, like getting them across, increasing their cash flow as a busy mum and stuff like that. So we moved from her 297 offer, which she had sold a few of, but it just wasn't quite working because Rebecca's amazing at what she does. She's a financial advisor and very brilliant. But sometimes people who are experts can stay in their expert space too much. We want to kind of bring it down and be relatable. So we created this package around how you can increase your net worth in 90 days, 5K, increase your net worth by 5K in 90 days, right? Together as mums, working together, busy mums with young kids. It's not about sacrifice. It's about moving towards increasing your net worth by 5K. She was able to welcome 10 people in at 997 instead of, a handful of people at 297 who didn't really go back in and do the course, okay? Or alternatively, did do the course and she massively over-delivered in creating the environment around that. So they're the common things that can happen, and this is how you kind of shake that up, right? Or even maybe you want to go and you enjoy being in person with your clients and creating that space for change. Here's a picture of Brittany when we did a retreat in Bali. I did like a 3-day retreat, and I had did I have 3 or 4 women? I think I only had 3 women, right, at this retreat. It wasn't big, but we got to stay in this great villa, and I just want to share a couple of insights that she had about the retreat so that you can get a sense of what you can create with these kind of moments.
Hi, my name is Brittany Watkins with BrittanyWatkins.com, and I'm here at Victoria Gibson's Bali retreat. I'm having so much fun. We're in this gorgeous place. We have staff, people cooking for us. It's been so much fun, and staying in a community like this with other women that are super successful entrepreneurs. Not only have I been getting great ideas from them, good connections, good partnerships, but we've had so much fun together, and I feel like it's given me that space to really look at my business from an aerial perspective.
So I just wanted to share that because it's the insights that you think, oh yeah, they're just off, living it up in Bali. But when you create these elements together, this is about the group. I could use the expertise of the other women to create some great outcomes there. And one of those other women sent an email saying, how are you? Just wanted to give you an update because we just had the 3 days, right? And then off she went. she had a 297 course. It wasn't really doing anything. And I said to her, why don't you turn that into a certification? It worked for her market. It was like a tarot certification, right? I actually have another client. I have a lot of clients in this area, but I have another client who has a tarot and astro certification and a yoga teacher training. She just does online courses, right? So we work with that. But this one was like, okay, how can you bring that online course to life? And she's like, great, we have 113 students. So she's like, remember in Bali when we're floating around the pool with a G&T and you casually suggested doing a certification program? I didn't really casually suggest it. It was strategic. I was like, even though I was on a Lilo, I was like, this is what you need to do. And she's run it again and I think got about 250 people in it. So her first 6-figure launch, was able to kind of pull that out. So pretty amazing what can happen when you create some experiential elements that work for your clients and work for you too. This doesn't have to be a business coaching thing. This can be around weight loss. It can be around spirituality. It can be around personal development. It can be around, business finance, like whatever, I can't tell you all the different elements, like so many different elements that I've worked with clients on different markets. It doesn't have to be just about growing people's businesses. I want you to remember that. Also need your careful client selection, making sure that when you're creating this nice intimate space for big results that you protect that, okay? You want to make sure that you welcome the right clients in. And the beautiful thing is you don't have to feel so dependent on saying yes to every person because people are generally investing at a higher level. And when I say high level, they might still only be investing at 997. I showed you some examples of that for my other clients. But generally when people are stepping up to that level rather than a 297, they're going to take it a lot more seriously. But also when you're providing great value, you can rely on the fact there'll be more clients. So you don't need to take the ones that are going to come and unravel everything, okay? I often say, would I spend time, sit down, have a glass of wine with that person, that kind of thing. Not that you need to be besties with your clients. You do need to be the leader, but I want you to be really careful about who you bring in and the dynamics. And also what members of this beautiful program or mastermind that you create can bring to each other too. Like I have a business coaching mastermind, so I love getting like web developers, I love Facebook ads people, copywriters, like, other things that are going to help others in the group market themselves better and complement what I can bring to the table as well. Okay, so be thinking about that. Some people ask, can I have members in that have got similar businesses if they're a business coach, or might be, worried about, well, can people really will they want to share about their finances in a group? Like I have to work with them one-on-one. That's a common kind of objection. Oh, but weight loss, people don't want to share about that. I've got examples where they do, okay? And I've got examples, Brittany, who was just on with the Bali thing, she sells group weight loss coaching for $9,000, right? So it can be done. So let go of those things that are holding you back. Let go of those perceptions and let's have a chat about how you could get to where you need to go with those goals and how you'd need to price it, right? And this is about that accountability with an experienced mentor. The biggest ways to make those shifts is to have a mentor mapping things out and having that guidance. And this is what you'll do with your clients, right? But it's also what you're probably missing as well as part of where you are and if you are feeling stuck. It can also be where you feel like, well, I've invested in things before and they haven't worked, but we've got to look at things in its totality. Have you been able to step through with someone who gives you some customized advice? Have you been able to step through and get that support? And have that been a person who's done this, walked their talk, got great results, and hasn't just learnt it from someone who decided they're going to teach it, right? They've actually walked through it. They've done it themselves. They've done it for other clients. That's what you want to look for. So don't compare online courses or perhaps coaches who haven't worked as well with something that is robust, proven, and can give you the results you need. Also you'll find that this for your clients when you welcome them into your program, stepping up to that higher level of investment requires and demands that you complete. You get the results that you need because you're going to take it a lot more seriously, right? Drop the excuses, take action. Doesn't mean you're not going to have resistance. Doesn't mean you're not going to kind of, shrink back at times and things like that. But as you, as the leader of creating this group, you're going to make sure that you've got their back in that, right? You've got the opportunity, the space to help them, and it's not going to feel like a drain, right? Because you're not filling your calendar with endless hours of private coaching, right? This is very different to that, okay? Even better, working with an experienced mentor is just going to shortcut the journey, right? It's going to stop you making expensive, silly mistakes, right? I mean, look, there's that certification program, a testimonial that I just mentioned there. She was there sitting on $100,000 she didn't even know she had. And she was sort of a bit like, I don't know if I should come to the retreat. I don't know if I should take time out, right? There it was, just there. 3 days, we're not even like, we're sitting there having a drink. Right, this is how you structure it. Now, yes, she had to go and do it, absolutely. But just that's one strategy, $113,000 US that was sitting there. I guarantee you will have opportunities like that sitting there that you don't even know. I had not $81,000 opportunity sitting there that if I hadn't had my mentor at the time, James Schramko, told me, I think you'd be great at that, Victoria. Just go and do it. Like, what are you waiting for? Go and do it, right? That accountability. I had 81,000 sitting there that I wouldn't have harnessed, right? This isn't chump change, people. This is big. And I'm not saying you're just charging that and like put a high ticket on it and that's that. That's not what this is about. It's about more than that. It's about creating real transformation for your clients, setting them up for success and setting yourself up for success. Do not underestimate what an experienced mentor can give to you, okay? This is a bit fuzzy. I should have zoomed in a bit on this. But this Claire, when she was in my Breakout Success Mastermind, same mastermind I've been running since 2013, she's saying she had an offline photography business, was feeling quite isolated, working alone at home, really hesitant about the investment in herself, right? Big stretch. She went through the usual thought of, you could just go do this on your own. I know, and look, do you know what? I told her you could go and do it on your own. I'm not here to say you couldn't, because I know if you're motivated, you will. But I know you'll do it faster, easier, and with better results if you do it with an experienced mentor, right? She said, but then I realized if I could have, I would have done it by now, okay? And how many people can relate to that? I'm sure if you're on the call today, you can no doubt relate to that as well. Because there's absolutely no way, she says here, there's absolutely no way I would have been confident enough, clear enough, or motivated enough to power on and produce this work. She said she can attribute $10,000 alone to one email and execute it, and another $7K in 24 hours from a webinar that I helped her with, right? It's all $17,000 was sitting there. She wouldn't have harnessed it without an experienced mentor to direct her in the right places, help her shape it. Did she have to do the work? Yeah. This ain't no flip your fingers, right? But it's a lot easier than dredging along and coming across your own resistance and picking all the different shiny objects and never getting to where you need to go, okay? I want you to remember that. And I also want you to ask you a question like, what would an extra 10K a month change for you? What would it change for your family? Or if you live alone, that's totally fine too. What would it change for you? Even if it's something frivolous, hey, I could go on my online shopping sites and buy those things that I keep thinking, hey, no, I can't do that. I could go and travel to see my family that I haven't seen for a while, or I could fly business class instead of economy. I've got to say, when I go overseas now, I've worked out some hacks. So if you want some hacks to flying business or first class in international travel, I've got them for you. But one of them, I'm going to Europe in August, and I'm paying, I don't know, $3,500 for business class and first class flights from Australia to Europe. But that's what's important to me. It might not be important to you, but I want to have a business where I can do that, because I don't want to be cramped on a 20-hour flight in economy. It's not how I want to live my life. I'm now 44 years old, and I've worked hard and I want to have the spoils, but those things are important, but what's important to you, and what could 10K an extra a month, if not more? I've shown you several opportunities, $100,000 opportunities, $17,000 opportunities, more than 10, but I'm just saying conservatively what we can deliver, 10K a month, right? Maybe you get to 5 first if you're not at anything yet, 5 and then 10. Maybe you're already at 10 or 20 and you want to get to 50. That's cool. Let's map that out. What is that goal? What about that gap of where you are? How can that change it? Someone like Julie, as I said, she had a 297 divorce course, goes to a $2,000 offer. I've surpassed $12,000 in sales. This was in 3 weeks, right? So $12,000 sitting there. It's more than the 10. I'm not one to say, hey, you're all going to make this. And I like to keep it more realistic because I'd love you to be more surprised, right? So what do you need to win? You need to have got results for yourself or your clients in the past, okay? You need message and offer clarity. I guarantee you don't have it, and I guarantee you'll get it when you work with me. And you need personalized guidance and support, okay? So who here knows they're ready? They want to step up. They're sick of things being the way they have been, and you're looking to make more money in coaching business. But even more than that, I know you're looking to make a bigger impact, okay? And I know that not having this accountability, the experience, the guidance is costing you, okay? So not having a boutique group coaching program and not having a mastermind is costing you each and every month, right? It's waiting there for you, right? So think about if you're making $5,000 a month and you want to make 10, that's costing you each and every month you sit and wait and think that you can do it yourself when you haven't yet. That's costing you $5,000 a month, okay? Add that up over 12 months at 60 grand, you've just like wait another year for. And I do have clients come back to me, well, I spoke to you a year ago and I didn't do it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that was cool because hey, that's what happens. That's no problem. And I'm like, okay, so what's changed for you over that year? It's like, nothing. So, and in fact, if we put the exact amount of it, we'd talk about all the things that we can create, that lost revenue, and add that up, and it would be pretty demoralizing, right? The cost of waiting. I know one of my best friends always wanted to get her university degree, and I know that's been a real source of sort of loss for her, and that she really wanted to do it and didn't do it. And one of our friends' fathers said to her once, you know what, that time, because she says, oh, but it's going to take 3 years. And he said, those 3 years are going to happen anyway, right? You're going to get to the end of those 3 years, God willing. Like, you're going to still be there. Wouldn't you rather be at the end of those 3 years with your degree than without it? And the same is true for this. Wouldn't you rather, the time is going to pass, right? Wouldn't you rather be there? Wouldn't you rather have an offer in place? Wouldn't you rather have that clarity of the message, of the impact that you create for people? And wouldn't you rather be out there helping them? And it doesn't have to be about heaps of people either, but just helping people in a bigger way without burning yourself out, right? Wouldn't you rather? I'm pretty sure you don't want to stay with the problem of not working with clients that you love, not having enough sales, always having to think about launching. All right, maybe you haven't even got to that stage yet, but I guarantee that's not really a great fun place either. And maybe you're not getting your clients great results. You've had a few shitty clients. Hey, I've had a shitty clients too, and I've had one that's been particularly awful. And made me question myself and made me think, oh, maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to do. And then I just have to remember the path that I'm on, right? I have to keep staying true to what it is that I do and the results that I create, and stay true to one of those shifts, which is careful client selection. I don't want you to ever fall into that rabbit hole of having a bad client, because they are the pits, right? And they don't get better with time. Often they will not turn around. And I want you to know that if you had that experience, it doesn't have to continue, right? And also maybe you haven't had that accountability. You've had a lot of excuses and you've been flying, going around like this, right? I understand that too. So I want you to know, though, this model can work for all stages of business. A boutique group coaching mastermind, creating your own mastermind, it can work for all stages of businesses. You don't have to be a guru. You don't even have to create an online course, and I certainly won't necessarily make you create one either, okay? Because the thing is, I've got a limited opportunity. I've got a live intensive coming up, and that's going to help you find the right mastermind offer for you. Get that offer clarity, the pricing, the packaging, right? So in order, before, I'm already been welcoming people into that, but before I do, I want to offer up some personalized planning sessions, just 10 of them, because I'm going to give you that price, package, and offer, okay? You are going to walk away with that, whether you want to join the Mastermind Success Secrets Live or not. You will walk away with that clarity. I am great at uncovering where the opportunity is for you and how to create something that feels really great and will get great results, but will also be really marketable, okay? So it's going to be easier to fill, right? Set up how you can deliver it. Yesterday alone, I had a woman in tears with this very session, right? Where I said, well, to me, it makes sense that you do X, Y, Z. And she was just like, oh my God, that's exactly what I've been wanting, right? So that's a shift. I do that regularly, trust me. And it's okay. Why would I do that? People are like, why would you do that? Because that's how I find my best clients. This is how I work out whether you're going to be right in the group too, because I don't want you to just press a button and come straight in. It's not an expensive program, by the way. This is absolutely not an expensive program. It's around the price of B-School, right? So when I do a live it's not expensive, but the session, it's free, right? You've got nothing to lose. I'm not going to be, upset or disappointed if you don't join, even if you are a fit, and I won't probably invite you to join if it's not right for you either, right? I want great results. I want my clients to get great results. That's what helps my business, okay? So please don't feel like, oh, well, I can't take up your time. You can take up my time. I've carved it out. I'm putting it out there because this is how I find my best clients. This is how I curate groups who get amazing results. And I stand behind it absolutely, and I'm more than happy to have a chat with you. So please go to victoriagibson.com/call. I want you to head there, and there's a couple of questions to answer. That's it. And then you apply for a session. It's super, super simple. And I know that I want to even put it in the chat box, but it's not letting me for some reason. So just go to that URL, victoriagibson.com/call. Super easy. Type it into your browser. You'll see a couple of questions. You just have to put your name, email, phone number. Tell me if you've got an online course. No big deal if you don't. Like, that's not going to work. And tell me if you've got a website or something so I get a sense of who you are too. And I can have a look at that before we get on the call so we're not wasting time with me getting up to speed. We can get in there and actually just unlock where you need to go. And guess what? If you decide, right, I want to go do that on my own, you go with my blessing. It's totally fine. I'd love to meet you, see what you're doing. We just jump on Skype or GoToMeeting, and I can even record the call and give it to you if you like. That's totally fine. And it's free. So, hey, as I said, this webinar, there was nothing to sell. I wanted to give you those shifts. I wanted to give you the gift of a change of perception about maybe where you've been stuck. And I hope that I did that. I hope that you got that out of today, because that was absolutely what I'm about, and I want to create those shifts. There's too many people struggling. There's too many people hiding. Too many coaches that have some great things to get out there, and my mission is to help you do that, right? But the Message to Market Coaching Intensive, it's not for people who jump from shiny object to shiny object, who are stuck in their reality and don't want to change. If you can't add values to your clients, right, it's not going to work. I'll be able to tell you that in the call as well. It's not like I'm going to go, you don't add any value, but I'm going to be realistic about where you should be and what you should do, right? If you hesitate or let the fear overtake you, it's okay to feel scared. It's okay to feel particularly scared if you've invested in programs before and they haven't done what you thought they would do. It's okay. I will be honest with you about whether it's the right investment for you. It's not for everybody, right? Especially if you are I'm half in, I'm half out, I'm not sure, and you go into meltdown, at every every given moment. Okay. This is for you if you want to solve the problem of not having that monthly recurring revenue. If you've got the peaks and the trough, you've got too much private coaching, you're not charging enough, you're charging by the hour, you don't have any higher priced offers, you don't have a repeatable system to get clients, guess what? This is for you. And also, if you realize you need to be making a bigger impact. So I know that's what's driving a lot more people too. It's not just, I want to make money, but you've got to make money to make the impact, right? They go together, and I want to give you a solution to do both. Absolutely. And it's for you if you want to double your income in just 60 days, because I think that this is the great solution to do that, okay? Know that I have helped many other coaches like you. I'm not just, flown in here and decided to share it with you. I've worked with well over 120 coaches, giving them significant results, many of those for over a year, right? Like Julia, who went from selling a $97 sleep course to a $4,000 coaching program, making a really big impact in the lives of newborn mothers who aren't getting the care, nurturing and support. And unfortunately, Julia was trying to help them all directly, but what we did is help her create like a certification or a coaching program that helps the people in the industry help the newborn mothers. So then she could actually have a way bigger impact than if she tried to help every newborn mother herself, right? Claire, I talked about a couple of times, right? She was able to, create her photography business mastermind. I love this for her. I've loved it from the moment I met her. She wanted to create online courses before, and that's great. She's got them, but she knows that this is her calling, and this was the impact that she resisted but managed to have happened. Was able to then go and sell an $11,000 program with a 12-minute chat after a workshop, right? Jane, who was so resistant to creating her own mastermind. Victoria, I want to create a mastermind. I know this is what I'm meant to do, but I don't know what, I just can't do it, right? She did do it, and she's kept building upon it more and more. And in fact, I heard from her recently, and she had, made significantly more than what I've popped here from her mastermind. And I think that's pretty amazing, because when she came to me, she didn't feel like she could do it at all, but just being able to shape it, getting there, seeing things differently. She's like, oh, but I think, my market won't pay for stuff like this. That's what I hear all the time too. Am I going to scare people off? My market won't pay for this. I guarantee you'll have an example of where someone in your industry has done this and it's worked, okay? And the thing is, you don't have to be for everyone, right? You don't have to cater to everyone. Just because we like to please people doesn't mean you have to take on every single client and solve their problems. It's not about that. Chantel, one of my gorgeous past masterminders who, has a beautiful 7-figure business helping music and dance studio owners grow their business, right? She's like, thank you, you truly changed my life. This is what I want for you. I want you to have that impact where people say to you, you've changed my life. And I'm no mindset coach. I'm not about that. I'll map out strategies. I'm more a consultant where you can go into action and create great results, okay? So let me not forget to remind you about the call application. Well, let's go into how you could create these results yourself. As I said, there's no obligation there. victoriagibson.com/call. It's ready for you. I will, be in touch and make a time and we will chat. It'll be you and me. It's personal, right? I'm not here. I don't serve hundreds of thousands of people. So guess what? I'm happy to get on the call and get on the phone and have that chat with you. Have that plan set out for you. And I know that once you have that, you're going to want to go deeper. And if you don't, totally fine too. So hopefully you all go there. If you get stuck or the form doesn't work or God forbid something like that, because that happens a lot, just grab me on email, victoria@victoriagibson.com, and just hit it and say, hey, I want to book in a session. I want to chat more about it. Okay? It's free. You've got nothing to lose, so definitely get in there and do it. Now, I did promise Q&A as well, and I did promise you for staying. I can see some people who've stayed right to the end as well. Let me just do the Q&A, and then I'll get to that link of how you can access the online training too. The online training's fine. Look, it just maps things out for you, but it's not going to be as great as us jumping on a call, okay? But regardless of that, who's got some questions for me? Type them in. Let me know. I know you've probably been thinking about questions throughout. If I don't get to them now, because there's quite a few, if I don't get to yours now, know that I've got them all listed. I can just email you back later as well. One of the things is, this all sounds great, but does it only work for businesses that coach other businesses and how to make money? And no, it does not. I've shown you a couple of examples of other things there, but this works for things like weight loss, divorce support, fertility mindset, mums who want more cash flow for their family. Okay, the cash flow thing might be a bit money-ish, but those others are not money making at all. So there's different ways. Yours may not be suited to this, and I'd tell you straight away in the session. So if you're unsure about that, then please let me know. Or let me know, or come book a call, and we'll do that. If you want to ask in an email before you book a call, you can totally do that too, or on the application form. But then my email again, victoria@victoriagibson.com. Just ask me that there. Another one is, I'm interested in creating a certification. Could this work for confidence, helping people with their confidence? Yeah, sure. Like, you might not need to do a certification. You might be able to find an element around that. Doing something generic like helping you build your confidence. That feels too generic for me. I want to find out, okay, well, who's it for specifically? What life stage are they at? What struggle are they going through that they're not feeling confident? I'd like to break that down a bit with you, Sue. So why don't you apply for a call and we can definitely map that out. They're the kind of things that I can steer you in the right direction. This is what I find a lot. People are on a message, and you know what? Because I can tell you right now, Sue, that's not going to get you where you need. I know that's what you do, and that's the end outcome of what you help people with. We might need a bridge there. We might need to a bridge to really packaging up that irresistible offer and making it really, really compelling. Okay. Someone said, "Well, I don't know how to get my Facebook ads working. Is that something that is you can help with?" It says. So as part of like the Mastermind Success course, we will be touching on that as well. It's part of my expertise. I've been running Facebook ad campaigns for a long time. I'm also run them for myself, and actually I've had one of my clients run them for me at the moment because I just wanted to go arm's length from it. But I'm in there running ads for my clients, but in this instance, I want to show you how to easily do that yourself, okay? So there'll be sort of step-by-step of how to create the campaigns to bring in clients so that if you don't have a big audience, you can bring more in. But I'm also quite focused on ways to do that without spending ad spend first, ways that you can use you can get your new clients with what you've already got, okay? It's not about spending heaps of more money, ton more money on ads straight away. Let's work out where you are. You might already be using ads. We can get in, tweak those straight away and absolutely turn those around. Working out, just like I said, the numbers don't lie. Sometimes what's working is just about the numbers that you got. And sometimes people are, I hear people like, I'm spending like $12 for an email opt-in. Those numbers ain't going to work, even if you're selling high ticket. So how can we dive in and help you with that as well? Book a call. I'll let you know how that can work for you as well. So I want to respect the time here because I've already gone over the hour. So there's a few more questions. I will come back to you with that. But, if you've got them, the best place really is victoriagibson.com/call. That is where you will find the answers that you need. And as promised, if you want to jump in and get that freebie, it's victoriagibson.com/anti-launch guide program. You enter your details in there and you get access to that training. Dive in, enjoy. It's valued at $47 US. I'm glad you stayed and gave that attention to your own business and stayed on the call because I definitely enjoyed our time together and can't wait to hear from you. As I said, if you have any problems with that form or anything at all, just hit me up at victoriagibson.com. I'm more than happy to help you out, and I can't wait to dive in and create your next big offer. Okay, enjoy yourselves today or tonight, and we'll go from there. Take care. Bye.